Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a PNR racing event. Today we are looking at Formula 3 Championship that we currently have running on WSS, the World Sim Series. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of practice when it comes to commentary because I've recently had a newborn baby, so had quite the time off as Lando is gone straight in to do a French kiss with Barrier. As we go on board with Rob Stinton. This is the first time I'm trying to commentate with the auto director, so we'll see how it goes. It could be quite bad, and I will probably butcher a couple of names as Rabimus comes over to end practice in P5 currently. As we are now on board with Ayaka Pony. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Apologies. Coulson is coming through the magical S's to try and improve his lap time as number 2 car has just finished currently on the soft. So we do have quite a different array of tyres going on here. We have Rabba on the hard tyre, Jay on the soft, 66 mediums, 2 seconds slower than Jay, who is currently running on the softs, as I believe that's the end of the practice session. I don't really know what happens here. So here I am, I'm race control. Currently driving the that's the AMG GT4 by the looks of it. Rather pretty. What I am going to do very briefly, so please ignore this mouse very quickly. I am going to put on wherever it is, or have I got it turned off? I got it turned off, haven't I? Oh, I do have it turned off. Never mind. Never mind. So we will wait and see. So it says we're currently in overtime, but everyone is in the pits. We only have 8 drivers, even though 11 have signed up. So I'm just looking at my wee boy being a bit of a mister. Here we go, so qualifying 10 minutes to get the fastest lap time in. Again, people on quite an array of tyres. I'm not even sure if they're really aware of that. And it's very quiet up here in the helicopter as we go on board with James Lloyd. Number 2 car. Holidays? Don't know. I haven't actually had a chance to ask these brand new members of PNR how they would like me to pronounce their name. But I hope they don't mind if I butcher it this week at least, and then we'll be back to normal hopefully next week. Actually ask people if they want me to pronounce their name or what they would like to be called. So we have quite an array of tyre, and I'm not quite sure why. I'm guessing people don't realise that they're on the mediums. As Akaponi is currently just taking it easy, giving a bit of space before going on a flying lap. We have lost Letterme, weirdly. Hang on. Have we lost Letterme?
No, I'm still in here.
Are you? So I can see J, I can see 66, I can see a name that I'm struggling to pronounce.
Al Capone.
Al Capone. But the gentleman in car number 2, or lady in car number 2.
It's Ikan Pony or something. Ikan Pony or something like that.
Oh yeah, Ikan Pony I'm okay with. It's car number 2, who's currently sat in P3.
Let's call it George.
Kamaladze, whatever his name.
Kamaladze.
George.
We'll call
Yeah.
him George then. George, and then I got Rabbit, then I got Coulson, then I got Jammer, and then I got Lando, and then I got me. I don't have Letterme.
You might have to rejoin.
I'm gonna have to rejoin. Okay.
Yeah, but because I left.
Okay. Let's have a little go then. What? Yeah, apparently we've got 11 sign-ups, so... We've got 11 sign-ups, but I'm not quite sure, but only 8 are online. Oh, that's much better. I can see a lot more names now, but people obviously won't be racing, and now they're gone, and now I can see Lemmy as I watch Lando kiss the outside edge. Yeah, kiss the outside edge to start his flying lap. Cheers, boys. So let's go back with Al Capone. And we got George, who's currently sat in P1 with no time. Interestingly. Let's see if I can see. Let's just have a little look. Let's go here. Let's have a little look. The car physics. Track map. No. Description. No. Board. No. That'd be quite fun. Give you an idea of how fast they're going. Don't know. So I am having a little bit of a play here because I'm not entirely sure what we want. Performance delta, race position, real time. Nope, that's no good to me. Oh, now it comes overtime. Okay, we'll leave it then. We'll leave it be. Thank you very much, AC. Still getting to grips with it. We'll find it. We'll get there. We will get there. Don't you worry about that. As George just comes over the line to set a 122.802, only 400th of a second quicker than Ikaponi, and Rabba is currently lapping almost half a second, if not 7 tenths down. As Jay just comes over the time of 9, only 2,000th of a second behind George. As 66 currently in P5, everyone's kind of a little bit. The gapage is quite big, to be honest. With through the midfield. Hopefully that will tighten up a little bit more. As Coulson is currently on his outlap. It's foggy. Apparently, the server settings or the championship settings is green track and kind of random weather. So it looks like we're in for a foggy F4 race as Coulson comes over the start-finish line with a 126.5 outlap. Apparently. J, P2. Any improvements for J? I wonder if there's like a little delta thing that I can find. And then, is there a delta? There might be a little delta. Let's have a look. No, we don't want telemetry. Oh, that's El Capone has a little bit of a lock up there. Just seeing if there is a delta thing that I could put maybe like right there. That'd be really nice. I'm gonna pin that right there. There we go. There is a little bit of a delta. Struggling to move this, here we go. Just make it a bit smaller. There we go, so we can see a delta. Oh, that's gone. Rear end just losing out there. DRS can be pretty much used around the whole lap here. It's just kind of keeping on board with what's going on here. So we're on board with Lando, who is currently 2 tenths down on his best delta, 3 tenths down on his best delta. His Rabbit is 3 tenths up on his best delta. Still says outlap. That's not true. It just isn't true. Rabimus is now half a second up. This would put him in contention for P2 if he can keep this pace going. In the final lap of qualifying. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Is he going to nick P2? He is not. The delta wasn't quite in his favour. Delta's nice and everything, but I don't think it's really needed. There we go. So Jay Skyring is currently sitting P1, but can George upset the tea party? We will soon find out. In fact, I'm going to turn the audio up. That's one thing I'm definitely going to do. I'd rather do all of this now than through the race. Oh, and it looks like he's backed out. There we go. And George comes into the pit lane. So that's the end of qualifying. So Jay Skyring P1 to start us off in round 4 in P1. El Capone in P2, George in P3, Rabbit in P4 with a good final lap time. There was a little bit more in it though. 66 in 5th, Lando Morris Minor in 7th, Lando Morris Minor in 6th, sorry, Letterme in 7th, Coulson in 8th, and James Lloyd starting P9 with no lap time. Now there is a mandatory pit stop. It's a 35-minute race, so we should be all done and wrapped up. Should look better during race. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me know in chat that BCAS isn't quite working correctly, and I can hear my voice from here, but my wife doesn't seem to be calling me. I may have to disappear just to help out with the wee man, but we shall wait and see. She seems to be okay. Cool, so now we're just waiting for the race start, and in the meantime, I'd like to take a minute to talk to you about my personal brand new business, Fox Custom PC Builders, based in the UK. So if you're not in the UK, sorry, this is probably no good for you. However, if you're looking for a custom PC build to a specific budget for a specific need, hopefully I'm your guy. I also sell accessories like from Cooler Masters, Thrustmasters, Honeycomb, MSI, Asus, and many more brands to follow. And I have a 5-star Google review rating, and it's the home of any Pretty Ninja merch, which all proceeds go towards running events and the community. And if you signed up today, you will earn £5 worth of free Vox points towards any future transaction. And as I mentioned, we are the home of PNR Racing, this YouTube channel, and any future events are supported by any sales through the business. So check out the business when you get a chance at foxcustompcbuilders.co.uk. And if you have any, and we'll skip the intro because it looks like we'll be underway. Just realised I went straight into intro as we are currently taking a look at the Formula 3 of Jay Skyring. Connor saying I should bring my son in as a co-host, possibly one day, you never know. Smurf Dog, what track are you at, please? We are at Autodrome Most. A very, very good quick circuit. Can be a little bit tricky. Mainly designed for World Touring Car Racing and DTM Racing, but more than suitable for Formula 3s, as we have 1 light in a minute. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light, 6 light, and we are go! As we're currently watching from Lando Morris Minor, we'll jump here and there. So we're on board of Lando Morris Minor going into T1. It's a tight chicane, and he completely backs out as we're on board of Ficaponi. He's got the inside corner for T1. Goes round the outside for T2, being squeezed out by Jay Skyring. As Letterme, everyone seems to get through pretty cleanly here. People are already activating the DRS, trying to get that extra little bit of boost of speed through the first lap. The fog is quite off-putting, I'm not going to lie. As Jay Skyring is just about holding on to his lead, as we're on board with Ficaponi. Going around to the fast swooping right, then left. On board of Letterme, who's just then fending off Coulson by the looks of it. The deltas aren't quite working too well, but we have one driver on the hard tyre, the rest are on mediums. It is mandatory, so just see who can manage the tyres the best. As we're looking back, oh no, we've jumped on to James Lloyd, our director, not wasting any time here as we're chasing down Mark Coulson. The car ahead as George has gone wide. In P3, rejoins pretty well, concedes the place, falls down to P5 I believe. So Capone is now in the race lead. time to get sorted out here. This is one of us is still saying that Jay is in the lead, even though we clearly just saw the pony was in the lead apparently. As we're on board of Rabbo, who's looking back towards 66 into the fast left-hander, smooth right-hander. You can probably power all the way through the double right-hander there if you're brave enough. If you get the entry right here, it's a double right-hander into a non-existent left and break into a straight line into a right-hander. As Rabbit's under attack from George, as George just powers his way through. So we go through the fast right-hand kink, very similar to the old hairpin at Donington Park. As we're on board with Mark Coulson, chasing down Letterman. As Rabbit is currently holding off 66, was trying to keep in tow with George, who is apparently 10 seconds behind second. I'm not sure how much I trust that, as we're now looking at the Capone, who is currently 0.0 seconds behind Jay Skyring. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Might just have to try a different approach a minute. We just want race position. No, that's not what we want. Okay, we're not too worried about me. It's race control. Sadly, we can't see anyone else. We'll make it bigger as James Lloyd has gone wide and gone off into the sand trap. Jammer did say that he wanted to not be in these Formula 4s again. 66s on the charge. Gets Rambus only 0.5 seconds behind. So we can see Rambus in P4. Oh, and who's that that's gone off there? That looks like Coulson's gone off. Perhaps James Lloyd just accidentally bumped him off a bit there. I'm going to restart it because it's clearly not doing very well here. Okay, so where are we? We've got 22 minutes and 30 seconds left of the race. Jay Skyring apparently is still leading the race. I'm not convinced. I think that might be incorrect. I think that might have been a bug of some sort because we've not gone on board with Jay Skyring at all. Unless, can I click on him and... Oh, he is. Yeah, so they got the positions wrong here. So Jay Skyring's actually in second. George is in third. Oh, I can't change. Okay, I can't change it. Okay, I'm not sure. I think it might be wrong. I don't think Jay is in the lead here. Okay, so Mark Coulson currently P8. Right behind Letterby, apparently. Is there any way that we can fix this? Because it's certainly not doing incredibly well. In fact, I'm going to drop out and I'll drop back in. Let's just go to an advert real quick. I'd like to take a minute to talk to you about my personal brand new business, Fox Custom PC Builders, based in the UK. So if you're not in the UK, sorry, this is probably no good for you. However, if you're looking for a custom PC build to a specific budget for a specific need, hopefully I'm your guy. I also sell accessories like from Cooler Masters, Thrustmasters, Honeycomb, MSI, Asus, and many more brands to follow. And I have a... Okay, we're back, and this is a lot better. It's sorted out now. The racing order is fixed. We have Icaponi in P1, Jay Skyring in P2, 2.3 or 3 seconds behind, 4 seconds behind, apparently. 66 in third, only 3 seconds behind. George is only 0.3 behind 66, which looks quite right to me as we're watching him now currently chase down 66. Letterby is the next car that's on our screen, currently in P8, Rubber in P5, Lando in P6, Coulson in P7, Letterby, as we just mentioned, P8. forgot that was going to happen. Sorry, everybody. So we're back watching the battle for P3. And George is chasing down 66 in the foggy Autodrome Most. As James Lloyd is pitting in. Getting his mandatory pit stop out of the way. Nice and early. Might as well. He's currently last, so he has to try and mix up strategy somehow. He's just been lapped. But he's never been a huge fan of Formula cars, as George locks up the front right there on the attack of 66. Now the fact that they can both use DRS around the whole track kind of nullifies it a little bit. Long pit. There we go. James Lloyd's all done. As George is still all over the rear gearbox of 66. So coming down to the hill section now, you can see that 66 got his DRS open early. But it's not really being that beneficial. Jay Skyring, 3.5 seconds behind Al Capone, but who knows? Jay may have something up his sleeve, but Al Capone is on the hard tyres, so I think Jay's got a little bit of work cut out here. And we're back watching the eyes of George chasing down 66. And we're coming up to the penultimate double right-handers. And there is our race leader. Coming in with the time in line. Down to the hard 90-degree turn right-hander of T1. And 90-degree left-hander of T2. And George is going to have to either do a bit of contact there. Good sportsmanship there by George, just to leave a little bit of space. Let 66 get away again. But George is definitely going to have to switch up the tactic here, where he tries to perform an undercut and pit for very little time. Or what, I'm not quite sure. Or he's just going to have to absolutely go for it. But it's the closest battle on the field right now. Heading down the hill, right-hander, followed by a fast, flat left-hander towards a right-hand kick where you lift off the throttle just a little bit, plough it back on, carry as much speed you can through. 66 had a bit of a poor exit, but goes defensive onto the S's. As we just move away and we take a look at Mr. Coulson, who's coming around T1. Come on, we want to see what's going on with George and 66, or a director. Don't be a fool. Looks like something happened, because George has now dropped back 1.5 seconds. So something's definitely happened there. 66 has pitted in and George is following. See, George could have tried doing the overcut, mix it up a little bit. Bit of free track. If he's a bit quicker than 66, he could have taken an opportunity there to put a really fast in lap compared to 66, who was clearly defending the whole way through. Jay Skyring is also in the pits. As Al Capone is in P1, happy as anything on his hard tyres. The hard tyres seems to be performing pretty well compared to the rest of the field. Skyring pit completed. That was very quick. I think that was a splash and go. And 66 and George have also come out of the pits. George is 1.4 seconds, 1.5 seconds behind apparently, 2 seconds behind now. So actually George going into the pits is actually hindered him some more. He's now almost 4 seconds behind apparently. So George ideally, in the grand scheme of things, maybe should have gone for the overcut. As we now take a look at Lemmy, apparently Rubber is right behind George. I don't believe that for 1 second. As we can see that Lando is half a second behind Rubber. So Rubber is in a bit of a no man's land race by the looks of it. As we are almost 13 laps to the good. Here comes Rubber out of the pits. Or coming into the pits rather. With 0.0 seconds gap to George, which that's clearly broken. Clearly broken. as Jay brings it round. If Jay can get it down to 20-second gap, might be in with a shout. Catch up Icaponi for the last part of this race. Ravenous pit stop is complete. 66 has caught up to Jay. He's 3 seconds behind. You can see Jay just in front now. And Lando 2 has also come into the pits now. I think everyone's just doing a splash and go, so I'm not really sure these mandatory pit stops are actually worthwhile. As we're now looking directly down on Rabid. Clearly the helicopter camera not doing too particularly well. Who is now 10 seconds behind George. That's a bit more like it, I would say. 66 has closed the gap to Jay Skyring in front. I believe that's Jay just ahead of him. Lando's just coming out of the pits now. Pit stop complete. And away we go here. 13 minutes left on the clock. And at the moment, I'm trying to fathom what's going on. Now, if that's 66, that must be George right behind him, or a back marker of some degree. But I can't imagine George has slipped back 40 seconds. He's now half a lap behind, apparently. As Coulson is coming into the pits. Letme is also in the pits. So here is 66. I'm not quite sure who the car behind is, as our race leaders just come into the pits. And if that delta is correct, Jay Skyring is going to go into the lead of this race. Delta is very broken on this, I've noticed. Oh, who's pulled off into the pit road there? Completely blocked. Letme. Not quite sure who that was. But now there is P1 back out and racing. Jay's only 2 seconds behind, and I don't believe that's Jay there. Jay, I think, just was coming over the top of the hill of your screen there. Well, there's Jay Lloyd. So who was the car that pulled into pit road? I'm not quite sure what's happening there. A bit of a... From that camera angle, that looked dodgy as hell. But Jane Jarrett doing what good sim races do, and just get the head down, crack on, keep going. Only 4 seconds behind Letme now, apparently. Letme right up, in fact. I think he might overtake Letme now. Okay, yeah, the delta is completely broken. We cannot trust the delta. Entirely sure what's going on there. Not the smoothest of things here. I might try and find a different form of standings mod for AC, as Lando really struggling with that Sector 1 complex. 66 in P3. James Lloyd has a drive-through penalty for cutting. I don't think he's going to be too bothered about that though, being in theoretical last place here. Nine minutes left of this race to go. Here is our race leader coming through T2 now. We can see just in the background there, Jay putting on a late charge. And it looks like there's another drive-through for James Lloyd for speeding. But he's only just got into the pit lane, so not quite sure what that's about. We'll find out. Drive-through taken. Okay, so James Lloyd apparently is now completely clear. So keep going, jammer. There's not a lot you can do, I'm sorry to say, my dude, but just keep it going. A bit too much speed there by Lando, or not being aggressive enough in going over the curbs. There's 66. So George apparently is now 3 laps down. That cannot be right. For love nor money. The delta is completely broken. So not another standing one. There must be another standing one, right? Surprised that there's not more. And James Lloyd hasn't just performed his other drive-through. So we've got race position, real time. Real time's not what we're after. Colson's diving into the pits. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm using this opportunity to figure things out because it just isn't working very well. My opinion. Let's see, F9 apparently. It's a bit better. Still not great. Yeah, it's a shame there's not a better way of doing it, really. I will go with is that actually correct? I mean, let's compare. We've got 2 minutes left of the race. Not sure it really matters. But according to this... Oh, that's race control, P9, that's me. Who am I missing? George has left. George has left, which is why we've got the problem. This makes a lot more sense to me now. So we have 2 minutes left on the clock. James Lloyd has come back into the pits again. Must be for another penalty. As we're now looking at the helicopter view of Rubbermus. So apparently George had some ping issues, apparently. Not quite sure about that. So 1 minute left on the clock. The battle for P5 is definitely heating up here. Or is that letting me behind, sorry. Battle for P6, sorry, is heating up. Between Lando and Lettermy. Lando just getting a little bit of a dodgy start out of T2. Jay Skyring's currently 7.1 seconds behind our race leader, Al Capone. And I think that's where Jay is going to stay. Lettermy is currently P7. Says that Coulson's in P7 there, but it's not correct at all. The BCAS is definitely not doing a very good job here. So Lettermy chasing down Lando Morris Minor and is only 0.1 of a second behind. So now taking a look at Jay Lloyd. But yeah, very broken. Very broken. And here is our race leader who's on the final lap. Coming up to the penultimate corners here. Quite an easy race here for Il Capone. Sorry for disappointing my country to me day. George, do not ever apologise, sir, for something that is completely out of your control, as Al Capone comes over the start finish line to win round 3, 4. God, I'm so out of touch right now. This is not great. Of the PNR Formula 3 Cup, Jay Skyring finishes P2. 66. Should have been George. 66. Coming across the line in P3. Next is Rubbermus in P4. Ignore the bottom. Keep an eye on the top left. So Rubbermus is actually P4. Because sadly George had a DC. And Jammer's just playing Lawnmower Simulator towards the end of the race. Clearly having a bad time in these Formula 3s. He's never enjoyed the Formula 3s, to be fair to him. So James Logan's got a stop and go penalty for speeding as Coulson comes around in P5. Jamski's just having a right old laugh there in the pit lane. Not having a good time. And here is Lando Morris Minor in P6. Good drive there from Lando. Wasn't looking particularly great, and there is letting me to finish off the race in P7. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was round 3 of the P&R Formula 3 Championship. It was a little bit of a scruffy stream. I apologise, I'm a little bit out of touch, and it doesn't help when the overlays don't really work properly. So until next time, make sure you keep an eye on the PNR Discord. You can find the link in the description below. You can join this series also with a link in the description below on the World Sim Series website. Good bunch of people, usually a few more drivers than this for round 4, which will be happening same time next Wednesday. You can also keep an eye out on WSS for our new Open Multi-Class Series race that will be starting on Sundays. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. As well as the PNTCC will be returning for Season 3 on Assetto Corsa rather than Race Room. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic Wednesday evening. Look after yourselves, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.